Hi everyone and welcome to this Data Popcorn video. My name is Floris and I've been working with DAX for quite some time. And if you work with DAX calculations yourself, you probably know your formulas can get complex and messy very easy and very fast. But what if I told you there is a way we can make it look not only cleaner, but also get your formulas to work faster and make them easier to debug? And that is where the var function comes into play. And today I will show you how we can use this var function in DAX to not only write more efficient, but also make our formulas more readable. So not only you understand it, but also your colleague. So let's get started with a simple example. What we're going to do is we're going to calculate the profit margin without variables, and then we're going to optimize it by using variables. So I'm going to go create a new measure. I'll call it profit margin, of course, and I'm just going to write it quickly. So I want to divide the sum of the sales. I'll make this a bit bigger so everyone can see it. Sum of the sales minus the sum of the costs. And we're going to divide it, of course, by the sum of the total sales. So this is then our calculation. Of course, it works. We put it in here, we make it into a card, and we'll make it into a percentage. Now, this works perfectly fine, but as you can see here in our calculation, we have done this same calculation, this sum function, 2 times. Of course, you can think it's not an issue, but for the performance it is, because it does the same calculation 2 times, which is redundant. So we're going to use the var function to optimize this a bit. So I'm going to put this a little bit down, and then I'm going to start by adding a variable. So var, and then we have to give this variable a name. So we're going to call it the total sales. So total sales. And then we do the same calculation again. So we do sum is sales. And then we have created a variable for total sales. It's as easy as that. Now, of course, it gives us some red lines because it doesn't understand the formula anymore. So we have to add the return function. And what we can then do is we can change every instance that has this formula to total sales. So total sales, because what we do is we make sure that here in this last bit of the formula, it references back to this previous part where this variable is. Now, we can do the same for this one. So also total sales. Now, let's say we now press enter. You can see it doesn't change anything on the profit margin because it still does the same calculation, but instead of doing this one 2 times, it only does it 1 time. So we can do the same for the total cost. Just for the sake of the video, var total cost is the sum of the cost. Now, and then we change this one to total cost. So in this way, you can also see we have made our formula much easier to read. Because if we see this and we show this string to our colleagues, they will very easily know what we've done. Now, and then I've been talking about debugging. So how can we debug this? So let's say it doesn't give the end result that we want. So what we can do then is, okay, we want to check, is this correct? Did we do this correctly? What we then do is instead of this return, we put here the total cost. So instead of returning our profit margin, it now returns our total cost. So we see, of course, it makes it into percentage. We don't want that. We have to formulate as dollars. So we can see, hey, our total cost is 2.39 million. Now, in that way, we can also debug our formulas by using the var function. So that is why using var in DAX is a real game changer. So it not only boosts performance, it improves readability and makes debugging easier. So I would recommend start using it. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel for much more and a lot more helpful tips about Power BI and a lot of different topics. So have a nice day.